Good morning, friends. Myself, Dr. Admuthe Namdev Bhagwan, working as a assistant professor at Rayat Shikshan Samstha, Anna Saheb Avte College, Manchar. Today we are going to study life cycle of Rhizopus, class TY BSc, paper cryptogamic botany. Study of life cycle of Rhizopus. Rhizopus, it is included in fungi. Rhizopus is also called as bread mold. Bread mold. Rhizopus, it is a cosmopolitan genus. There are about 10 different species. First we study classification of Rhizopus or systematic position of Rhizopus. Rhizopus, it is included in division fungi, then class Phycomycetes, then subclass Zygomycetes, order Mucorales, family Muceraceae, and genus Rhizopus. Division fungi, fungi means you know that fungi are non-chlorophyllous plant or a chlorophyllous plant. In fungi, cell wall is made of a chitin, also stored or reserved food material in the form of glycogen and oil drops. Then Phycomycetes, in Phycomycetes, plant body is made of a mycelium, and mycelium is a non-septate and multinucleated. Then subclass Zygomycetes. In Zygomycetes, after sexual reproduction, there is formation of a zygospore. Therefore, it is called as Zygomycetes. Then about the Mucorales and Muceraceae. In Mucorales or family Muceraceae, plant body is made of a mycelium, and mycelium is a aseptate and multinucleated. Then genus Rhizopus. Rhizopus, it includes about 10 different species. In which one is the Rhizopus nigricans, then Rhizopus urticorpi, then Rhizopus arrhyzus. Most of the species of the Rhizopus, they are saprophytic. Saprophytic means they grow on the dead decaying organic matter. Dead decaying organic matter. That is called as saprophytic. They also grow on the dead vegetables, dead animals. Example is Rhizopus nigricans. Rhizopus nigrican, it also grow on the butter, cheese, glycerin also. Then few species of the Rhizopus, for example, Rhizopus urticorpi and Rhizopus arrhyzus, these are the weak parasite. Weak parasite. They attack some plants. For example, Rhizopus urticorpi, it attack the jackfruit. Due to the attack of the Rhizopus urticorpi on jackfruit, the immature fruits, they drop down. There is a shading of drops, shading of fruits. Immature fruits dropping. And their peduncle, it becomes black in color. Then another is the Rhizopus arrhyzus. This fungus, weak parasitic fungus, it attack apple fruit, and it rot the fruit totally. Therefore, there is a rotting of fruits. Rotting of fruits. Then next point, thallus structure. Plant body of Rhizopus is a simple. They are made of a mycelium, and mycelium is a group of hypha. Mycelium is the group of hypha, and hypha is a thread-like structure. Thread-like structure. In a Rhizopus, that threads, they are aseptate, or it is also called as non-septate. Aseptate means there is a absent of septa. That structure is like this. This is a hypa. We say that hypa is a thread-like structure. Thread-like structure. These hypa, they are aseptate. Aseptate means partition wall is absent. Also, in that hypa, they are multinucleated. Multinucleated. Multi means many. And nucleated means nucleus. Many nuclei are present. Many nuclei. Such type of hypa are present in Rhizopus. Aseptate and multinucleated. Aseptate, or it is also called as non-septate. Then at the time of maturity, plant body of the Rhizopus, it is differentiated into three parts. One is called as branched rhizoids. Branched rhizoids. Then second is the stolon, or it is also called as runner. Then third one is the sporangiophore. At the time of maturity, the plant body of Rhizopus, it is differentiated into three distinct parts. Branched rhizoids, second is the stolon or runner, then third one is the sporangiophore. This is the structure of Rhizopus. Here, these are the branched rhizoids. These are the branched rhizoids. Then these are the stolon. Then these are the sporangiophore. Sporangiophore. Then at the tip, there is a sporangium, and in the sporangium, in the center, there is a columella. Also, to outside the columella and inside the cell wall, there is a presence of spore sac, presence of spores. In Rhizopus, these rhizoids, they are present in the substratum. They grow in the substratum. While these stolon or runners, they horizontally run on the substratum, on the host substratum, alternately. These stolon or runners, it runs, then it grows downwards, forms a branched rhizoids, and upper side they form say sporangiophore. Then it also again run and form say toward the downwards, it forms a branched rhizoids, and toward the upper side it forms a sporangiophore. It continuously takes place. Then sporangiophore. These sporangiophore, they are present at the upper side of the branched rhizoids. Sporangiophore, they are elongated structure, and at the tip of the sporangiophore, there is a formation of a sporangium, that is called as sporangium. In the sporangium, in the central part, that is called as columella. And columella is a sterile part. It is a sterile part. Then this is all of the sporangium. In between all of the sporangium and outside the columella, there is a sac that is called as spore sac. Spore sac असं म्हणतात. Spore sac. In the spore sac, spores are present. Spores are present. Many spores are present. Number of spores are present. In Rhizopus, spores, they are uninucleate and non-motile. Non-motile means there is absence of flagella or cilia for the motility. Therefore, they are uninucleate and non-flagellated. This is the structure of Rhizopus. The next point, reproduction. Reproduction means production of new individuals. In Rhizopus, reproduction takes place by three ways. One is the vegetative reproduction, then second is the asexual reproduction, and third one is the sexual reproduction. In first, vegetative reproduction is takes place by fragmentation. In fragmentation, what happens? These mycelial plant body or hyphae, it breaks into a small pieces or into small fragments. Then each piece or each fragments, they gives rise to a new individual. That is called as vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. It forms new individual, that is called as vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Then second type is the asexual reproduction. In Rhizopus, asexual reproduction takes place by aplanospores. These aplanospores, they are non-motile spores. Non-motile spores. Non-motile spores. They look like such type. Non-motile spores means there is absence of flagella or cilia. These aplanospores, they are formed in the spore sac at the tip of the sporangiophore. At the tip of the sporangiophore, there is a sporangium. In the sporangium, in the center, there is a columella. In between all of the sporangium and columella, there is a spore sac. In that spore sac, many aplanospores are formed. Then what happened? At the time of maturity, what happened? These spore sac, this sporangium wall, it breaks, and many aplanospores, they comes outside. And when they get a moist environment, they germinate and forms a new individual. That is called as asexual reproduction by aplanospores. Then last, sexual reproduction. In Rhizopus, sexual reproduction takes place by gametangial fusion. In gametangial fusion, what happens? It takes two thallus participation, that is positive and negative thallus. There is formation of gametangia. In this type, both gametangia, they are morphologically similar. So, gametangial fusion is isogametangial fusion. Both gametangia, they are morphologically similar. At that time, what happened? Firstly, the cytoplasm fusion takes place. Firstly, there is a plasmogamy. Plasmogamy means there is the fusion of the cytoplasm. Then next is the karyogamy. Karyogamy means there is the fusion of the nucleus and forms a zygote. Here, zygote is diploid and it undergoes some resting period. After resting period, there is meiosis takes place. At that time, what happened? That zygote, it forms a sporangiophore, elongated structure, sporangiophore, and at the tip of the sporangiophore, there is a sporangium. In the sporangium, columella are present. Columella is a sterile part, and towards the outside of the columella and inside the sporangium wall, there is a spore sac, and many spores are formed. These spores, they comes outside and forms a new individual. In this way, in Rhizopus, sexual reproduction takes place by gametangial fusion. Then, about the economic importance of the Rhizopus. Rhizopus is a lower fungi. It contaminate our food material. It also spoil our food material. Also, it rot the leather, textiles. But there are some economic importance of the Rhizopus in industry. Rhizopus, they are used for in industry for the preparation of fumaric acid. Fumaric acid. Then it also used in industry for fermentation process for the preparation of alcohol. Then Rhizopus is also used for the preparation of some chemicals like citric acid. Then it also used for the preparation of oxalic acid. These are the economic importance or use of the Rhizopus. This is the life cycle of Rhizopus. Here we already say that in Rhizopus there is a sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, we say that sexual reproduction takes place by gametangial fusion. In gametangial fusion, there is a two gametangia or two hyphae, that is positive and negative. These two hyphae, they come in contact with each other, form a gametangia. Firstly, there is a plasmogamy. In plasmogamy means there is the fusion of the cytoplasm takes place. Then after plasmogamy, there is a karyogamy takes place. Karyogamy means there is the fusion of nuclei. Hence, there is formation of diploid zygote. Then in that diploid zygote, there is a meiosis takes place and forms the meiospores or haploid spores. That zygospore, it develops into a sporangiophore. At the tip there is a sporangium. In the sporangium, number of spores are present, non-motile spores are present. These spores, they come outside, and when they get moist environment, they germinate and form a new individual. Then asexual reproduction. Here this is the rhizopus thallus. Plant body, it shows this is a branched rhizoids, this is stolon, these are the sporangiophore. At the tip there is a sporangium. In the sporangium, number of spores are present, non-motile spores are present. At the time of maturity, these spores, they come outside. These non-motile spores, uninucleated spores, when they get moist environment, they germinate and forms a new individual or forms a new mycelium. This is the life cycle of rhizopus. In this way, this is the life cycle of rhizopus. Then on the next lecture, we will study life cycle of Saccharomyces. Thank you very much.